Hello everyone, my name is Miro and thank you for joining me for yet another video this week. And today we are going to take care of some Hoyas that don't look great. Mind you, these are not the worst looking Hoyas in my collection, but these are the Hoyas that have been having issues and I feel are bad enough to show on camera without people passing out. That's the vibe of this video. So I have selected 5 or 6 Hoyas today that absolutely need my help. With some of them I sort of know what's up, with some of them I have no idea. So we will just attempt to rescue them. I have some theories for some of them, why they're not looking good, which you will get to hear. You're very lucky today. And hopefully, in several weeks, months, they will look better because we will be chopping some of them to hopefully propagate, which I have announced in some of my previous videos that we will have sort of a challenging propagation ahead. Before we start, I just wanted to say, if you have seen my last video, or if you haven't, you can click somewhere above me to watch it. This is the updated Radsta. It has now 2 lights, my magnets have arrived. And I also added 1 more light for that begonia cabinet, and the begonias are still in the Pro boxes recovering. So hopefully one day, eventually, that will look good too, but I'm quite happy with this. I have my 2 orchids here in bloom. You don't know about the second one, that I got actually 2 of these orchids, but now you know. There are 2 of them. I had to buy 2 because I did order through a plant store and they essentially would not have gotten the orchids if I didn't order 2. But anyway, we're not going to take a look at my cabinets today. We are just enjoying that I can finally sit down here and it looks like something and it's no longer embarrassing angle. We will just right away get into the chores. So there will be repotting, chopping, potting up the new cuttings, and hopefully rescuing all of these. Once again, they're not in entirely terrible condition, but some have seen rough days. So let's start with the first one. Okay, I feel that is going to be a little bit better. So the first one that we are dealing with is my Hoya medinillifolia. You have seen this plant in my past videos. She's right here. And this plant looked much, much better. She has lost an incredible amount of leaves since I've taken her out of the tent, and every day she looks worse. She's not dehydrated. Interestingly, this vine hasn't lost much, and the roots are good. She's watered. She's not rotting. I just watered her yesterday. She is in pumice. And I don't think she has any pests. You can see she's very bare. So what we are going to do today is cut her. We're going to cut her and put her back into the tent. The reason why I took her out of the tent is because she had no space in the tent anymore. So essentially what I'm going to try to do today is take as many cuttings as possible. And we are probably just going to leave this branch because it still looks good. And with 1 branch, she can fit back into the tent. And these 2 we are going to take out. There are peduncles here, but I'm going to try to take 1 longer cutting here. And then the rest of them I will try to root as wet sticks, which I don't expect it will work. This is not an easy Hoya to root. I did root this myself. This is a plant that came to me from Sweden in May of 2022. 2022, yeah, 2022. That's when it arrived. And yeah, we will try. We will try to help her out. I will root some cuttings in pumice, some cuttings in my mix, and some cuttings in moss, and some in fluval. We'll see what works. I think the cuttings without any essentially without any leaves, we're gonna go for moss with those. So once again, let me change the angle and we just have to start chopping. I feel that this is a very odd angle, but it is what it is, right? So Hoya medinillifolia has been growing wonderfully for me. I'm not really sure what is going on. She has been treated for mites. I don't think she has mites. I think that this is her just inability to adjust to the new conditions. And it's quite unfortunate, but again, it is what it is. If I want to save something, because again, one day she will just lose a bunch of leaves. For example, I wanted to do this sooner when this plant had more leaves and I keep waiting for her to recover. And, you know, the next day, 4 more leaves yellow. For example, you know, if I say, oh, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to wait out and see if she can recover. By the end of the week, maybe these 4 leaves will go. Maybe, maybe not. She's kind of unpredictable that way. So this vine, I'm going to chop all the way down here. Or maybe one more. What do we think? Let's give her one more. There is sap, so she's not rotting. This one I feel all the way here. So here we will do a cutting with 2 nodes and 4 leaves, and one larger one here. I'm going to take off these peduncles and let that heal. These also I'm taking off the peduncles because they're not very useful for us. And I will just split this into 2. So that's about 3 nodes per wet stick. I have not had great success with Hoyas and wet sticks. Now she can fit back into the tent and hopefully she will branch out and recover. I know it doesn't look pretty, but if she branches out here, I will be happy. Or down below, I will be happy. And I hope that like once I put her back into the tent, she kind of starts doing better. This is also not the best growth here. It didn't have really space to properly develop, but you know. Now this one, I will try to do 1 node cuttings. There is still a bit of yellowing there. Let's just do this. So another wet stick from which we shall be removing the peduncles. She doesn't really have any issue making peduncles. It's really like getting her to bloom. And of course we're removing those to save some energy. I don't love that I'm doing this. And then I think, let's see, do I leave those 2 as they are? Let's leave them. The 2 prettiest ones are gonna go into pon, because I have, oh, not into pon, into pumice, because I did root this in pumice, and I know that it certainly roots in pumice. One of these, we're gonna do my mix, fluval, and moss. And let's say this is gonna go into, oh, I don't know which, let's do this with fluval. This is a very pretty cutting, but let's give it a go. The longer one may be in moss, and this one for my mix. And then all 3 of the wet sticks are going into the moss. So we will come back a little bit later. We will give those time to sort of heal. I will shower them and then we can pot them. I will also be showering my plant and putting it into my growth tent on the bottom. That's where she was. And yeah, hopefully she can grow again. It's a mystery to me. She really did not like being out of the tent, and I know some people do grow this in just regular room conditions, but she did not love it here. One of my theories is that there wasn't enough light. So let me get up and show you. This is where she was. There isn't any additional light here, and I think that's why she has lost some of the leaves. If you remember, my frog foot did the same, and I put my frog foot on the wall and it has stopped losing leaves. My frog foot was here where these anthuriums are, and while this is a good light or enough light for anthuriums, it seems that it's just not enough for these low light Hoyas. I'm looking for my scissors because we do have this inflorescence that we can take off while we are here. So I will show you where the lights are. So we have one light up there on my wall. This is where the Hoya was. That's where the light is. And then there is another light up there, once again, where the Hoya was. So there is really no additional light. We do have some Hoyas there, like fungi. They all need to be watered. Fungi is blooming actually up down there behind that cactus in the absolute shade. We have fungi, we have the Cyantha, we have another fungi, Carnosa types, all of them which need to be watered, and they're doing fine, but not medinillifolia. And if you think that fungi is a lower light level Hoya than medinillifolia, well, you'd be wrong, because she did not like to be on the top shelf in the tent. She only tolerated the bottom shelf. We're waiting for new growth in this anthurium here, Michelle, but I'm not seeing anything yet. Though, the roots are doing really well after the repot, so I'm expecting a massive leaf very soon. So now we have gained some space. This orchid needs to be repotted. We have gained some space here. I don't think I will be putting anything, to be honest, on the shelf. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see, but you can't see from there. Let me move you again. This is where I ended up putting my frogfoot. It's blooming. The yellowing has stopped, so I think it's fine. Platycollis is up here. That one never really had an issue. It has a new vine growing in a really weird direction. I'm not the best platycollis grower, but you know, it's doing okay. This one we will probably chop at one point. We do have a lot of weird looking leaves. I think we did get mites at one point. It's my big Pandurata Splash. And she grows so fast that I think we can massively cut her back to just, you know, have a prettier plant, because some of these leaves do look a little bit tired-ish. And then Burmanica is also blooming here. She has had some yellowing leaves. I think I will cut her back too a little bit to essentially make her look good. But yeah, that's the wall. I don't know if you can see, not the entire wall. There is another Nepenthes there. You can kind of see what the wall looks like now. So it's looking okay. I don't think I'll be putting anything else in. I think I will just leave it. It has gone from being a Hoya wall to having like 5 or 6 Hoyas on the wall. There is this Pandurata from Vietnam. Fungi sort of is starting to go on the wall. Burmanica, Amrita or Frogfoot. There is a Platycollis there. Silver, Polinera, variegated Polinera up there. The regular green Polinera here. There is off to the side another Pandurata and Wilbur Graves Carnosa and Mirabilis. Those are all the Hoyas that are staying on the wall, and I'm not gonna add any. I added some orchids here, one orchid, a fern that we still didn't repot, that's staghorn, 2 of the Nepenthes. I think I will be adding more orchids to the wall, but that's it. Oh, there is this also Bella, the white Bella PES03. But yeah, I'm not adding any more Hoyas for now. I think we will leave it as is. Maybe some bushier types in the future, but for now, I'm happy with the look and I will just leave it. It's nice enough. Now it's time to move you so we can get more Hoyas for the rescue. So now we're going to my tent, and I will excuse you. There are some nasty looking stuff. If you see anything concerning or nasty, don't even ask me about an ugly looking plant in the comments. I don't want to hear it. So my tent is doing well. The plants are doing overall well. It actually looks nice. The light is off now. I'm not going to turn it on because I need to just like get those Wi-Fi timers. They would be much easier, because if I want to turn this on to show you, I have to climb the tents, and then it becomes very complicated later to set it to the schedule this needs to be. We do have some Hoyas blooming here, and one of them is blooming for the first time, so these are not rescues by any stretch of imagination, but let me just show you. We have this Hoya from Tangamus in bloom, which is probably something between Finlaysoni and Clemenciorum. That one is in bloom. Very sweet Hoya that I sort of love. It's maybe not my favorite. I know that people will be angry about that. What do we have in bloom? We have my scortechini, which we are going to deal with my scortechini in another video. And my scortechini has two peduncles there. Oh, maybe we're a bit too close. One here, one in the back. We will take care of it in, I think, video that comes right after this one. This is not a rescue by any stretch of imagination. Oh, you know who we have in bloom? This Hoya is in bloom for a very brief time. This is Spartioides. Spartioides is blooming here. Can't tell if that is in focus or not. Sweet Spartioides is in bloom. Lovely Hoya. And then I think Mamasa, yes. Mamasa, I need to take better photos of my Hoya Mamasa. This is her second blooming. I was gonna make a spotlight video for my patrons, but I still didn't do it. I love Hoya Mamasa. This is a published species Mamasa. And she has flowers here. Flower is very, very small. So I might actually leave that out of the tent here and take photos of that. The flower lasts for a long time, about a week. My tent does smell a little bit because I did treat for mealybugs. So it kind of smells like someone just farted their life out, to be quite honest, in this tent. I might pass out. I don't know why I'm showing you everything that's in bloom. Skip this part if you want to. We have a caudata. This is caudata from Sumatra. Oh, I love these. Look at that. My camera needs to stop finding even like slightly smallest part of my face and focus on this. No, it's literally tracking the part of my face. Like, girl, stop it. No. Anyway, you probably don't see that. So we have the caudata in bloom. Oh, by the way, maybe you want an update on my variegated Sulawesiana. She's growing. We are at leaf number 4. As you know, I was quite disappointed with the first of all, this is the leaf that I got the plant with. And then it made this small one. And now it's growing 2, and they are not hardened off yet, and they're gonna be longer. I just hope that they get very, very long. That one, due for a repot soon. Due for a repot. I heard that Sulawesiana doesn't love to be root bound, so we shall try. Rescue. Yeah, it's not really a rescue. This is my Hoya Evelinae. This is in moss. We need to remove it from moss finally and put it in a pot on a nice trellis so it can grow and join with several others Evelinae. And I don't really know where to put this, so it's gonna go on the floor. Several others have been burned, unfortunately. They were in higher light and they were doing actually fine, but then they dried out and they got burned. These were propagations at one point for sale. I'm not gonna sell them now because they look crappy. This one doesn't look crappy maybe, but still burned. Oh, you know what? I actually forgot. I need to kind of rescue my Hoya for a second time, so we'll do that. This one is severely burned. This 3rd degree burns. Not looking great, but we will still join her because it will fill out nicely eventually, but severe burns on this one. So do better than I. And I can't remember the third one. Is it severe or not severe? I think it's in between. Yeah, this one is kind of in between. Not super severe, but not severe. We will also repot my Hoya. These are propagations I was supposed to pot many years ago. Not literally, I am joking. They don't look bad, but they did dry out a lot. So I suspect we have some root rot. Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully not, because I did rescue them from root rot and I rooted them well, but now I also underwatered them. So these need to go in a good mix on a trellis. Yeah, we're gonna figure this one out. This one is dropping leaves like no one else's business. It's sort of doing like what my medinillifolia is doing. This is Tuathienhuensis. I think I'm gonna take a rescue cutting. I need to unpot it, see what state of the roots is. Maybe there is root rot. This is a huge plant and it's so suspicious that there aren't any roots coming out that we really need to inspect. I don't think she has pests, but, you know, leaves dropping everywhere. We have lost probably 30 leaves so far. I mean, this was filled with leaves. It was a fantastic grower. Now it's just bare vines, which I actually don't think I'm gonna remedy. I think I'm just gonna try to hide and maybe start a new one. Just there, I lost 2, 4, 6, 8 leaves. I don't really know why. Maybe she is overwatered. Maybe she doesn't have a good root system, but she was dry. And like, we're about to lose these 3 leaves. They're going yellow. Don't know if you can tell. So that is actually a rescue. Listen, this also, don't know what to do with this because it's also dropping some leaves. Let's just leave those on. It has many, many, many flowers, but one is open. So let me just show you. I don't know, I don't want to lose this plant, but she wants to lose me because she's getting very sparse with the leaves. I don't know, is it like the roots are good? Maybe she wants to be drier. I don't know. No, this is Siamica. Very cute flower on a very ugly plant. Maybe we don't do anything. Maybe we don't do anything. Let's just show you one more and then that's it. This Pubicorola / Pubicalex. Is this done or starting? Starting, okay. Hee hee hee, love it. We have flowers here and flowers here and another one here. This is the best blooming so far, so keep it up. Okay, and then from the other tent, I will just quickly go there and bring those out. In this other tent, we have my Hoya omitrata, which I don't know if I'm gonna do something with this one. She has been struggling for a moment. The leaves have been soft. Now they're kind of plump again. I really wanted to check to see if the roots are growing here, because I transferred this from pond and yeah, I don't think she's adjusting as well, though I do see some roots here. So we will make that decision later. I think though the decision will be not to touch her, because every time you do, you are just damaging them and you're causing more stress to the plant, to a plant that's recovering. And I think that like I can now actually see signs of recovery, though I will leave her so we can just think about that. Oh my goodness. What an absolute beauty. I have to show you this. I'm so sorry. This is turning into a show and tell and I don't care. I don't care. Oh my goodness. First of all, I didn't want to show you this, but like, let's see. This is Hoya Geneve. This is not sun stressing. This is temperature related. She was in the same spot. I think I'm gonna make a video on this. She was in the same spot. She remains in the same spot where she was throughout the entire summer, but now it's about 7 or 8 degrees cooler in this room, and she got completely red. So I will make a video on that. And I have many more examples. She has nice, good root system. We're not gonna touch anything here. She was treated recently for mites. Again, not what I wanted to show you and not what we are rescuing. This is what I wanted to show you. Hold on. And also, once again, we're not rescuing this, though I do think we need to remove this from pond, but it's my Cutis porcellana. Look at that. So many flowers. And they will open. Look at that. There's this. I need actually better photos of this, so I might take photos of that. I wanted to record another video today for my Patreon, but I think I'm just gonna spend my afternoon taking Hoya photos, or my afternoon, by that I mean actually my night. Let's actually get to the rescue, Miro. You Annoying human. Does it sometimes annoy you that it takes me so long to get to the point? Actually, don't reply to that. This one is definitely rotten. This one rotted in pawn and I didn't save it. It is in a really bad shape, Hoya Irina, dehydrated but watered, rotted in pawn. She was always watered and she just rotted. So we are going to take her out, try to save her. I think she will be saved, but yeah, that one is quite shameful. Actually, probably, I mean, still not as bad as some of the ones are. I have worse. But let's not show you like all my dirty underwear, right? It's a bad metaphor, forget I said that. So I'm gonna put the ones in the tent back in the tent that we're not dealing with today, leave the ones out that I am dealing with, and switch up the angle, and then we can see what we are going to do. I think my medinillifolia has stopped sapping enough that I can shower the cuttings. So very quickly, we will be back. All right, so we are officially ready to actually do some work here. And I'm not quite certain where to start. I think I will sort of start with the easiest things and then we will sort of go to the hardest ones. So here are our medinillifolias. That looks like a palm. So that's our medinillifolia. We have several cuttings, 5 relatively good ones, and hopefully all 5 take. I am quite prepared that none of them will take because she has been dropping leaves and she may drop those leaves tomorrow, we don't know. But I hope some of them take. If nothing else, I hope that the base of the plant recovers, which is currently looking like this. Needs to get a shower and into the tent. I think we are going to start with releasing some of the plants from moss. We have 2 ruthia and 1 apoda in moss. Then we can deal with Irina and Hoensis we are leaving for the end because I absolutely have no idea nor desire, to be quite frank with you, to do that. I am going to put on some gloves because I did treat these. They did get like a root drench. Since I will be handling the roots, I will be putting on the gloves. It's not ideal because you definitely lose your sensibility in your hands, but what are you gonna do? I mean, I could have done this much sooner and this would have been easier, yada, 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 we've heard it. So far these roots on Hoya ruthia look good. These cuttings really looked bad at one point. I actually did take these cuttings in a video and they have rooted many years ago. Not many years ago, but you know, I'm being dramatic here, but they rooted a long, long, long time ago. And to be quite frank with you, this is very, very late in the rooting process to be doing this because there's so many roots in this moss that I sort of feel maybe it would be better to just leave it. I found a mealybug. I squished it. Did I squish it? Did I pulverize that? How dare you? How dare you exist? Like, you shouldn't be existing. They will be the end of me. I know I made a video to be chill about this, but honestly, they will be the end of me. I don't know how anyone in their right mind can say mealybugs are easy. You have not had an infestation, is what I'm telling you. Hardest, one of the most difficult pests. Alcohol, maybe if you have like 20 plants, it's easy, but my goodness. I went through that tent less than a week ago and removed everything, and these had nothing on them. Maybe it will die soon, because this plant should have taken up the systemic. I mean, if we're getting to the point where not even systemic works, and I don't overuse it, I really, really only use it in a very extreme situation, which this is, because we have no predators. I haven't used it. The only time I used it in systemic for this is in 2020. So this is not a frequent use by any stretch of imagination. They could not have built up resistance. It's just that mealybugs are B words. I am not really in the mood for the moss. Not really in the mood. These roots, this moss, it's making me really angry. Okay, let's keep the back straight, back straight. Positivity on the max. And just think this is a super easy task. I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I get such a backache from plant chores. Maybe if I actively try to engage my muscles, it will be easier. I'm not even being gentle. I'm just like trying to at least separate them to see what's going on. I do like to root in moss. It's not that I don't like to root in moss. This part is obviously annoying, but you shouldn't really let it get to this part. If we're being quite honest, it should never have gotten to this part. This should have been dealt with 3 weeks after rooting, and it's been 5 months. Do not consider this a tutorial, by the way, on removing moss or anything. I'm being very, very, very violent here. I do not recommend this, but also I know how many things I have to get through, plus I found mites on my Monstera, variegated Peru. One of the leaves looks like it has mites. Now I know that I will have to deal with that too. But I did actually want to treat one of the Hoyas for potential mites, which is my Hoya surisana. So I'm kind of really rushing here. It's getting late. I wanted to record one more video. We're not making that for sure. There are soya photos to take. We really don't have 5 hours to be removing gently moss. And we know that even with the gentlest of the moves, we will be damaging the roots, so let's just get it over with, right? So let's do the other one. I think, I don't know, maybe we do them all in one pot. It's kind of a lot of cuttings to go in one pot. I actually think what made me angry was that singular mealybug. I think that's what made me angry. I can't stand those a-holes when I see them at this point, because they are worse than cockroaches. They will survive anything. Someone needs to research mealybugs, because maybe the cure for cancer lies in mealybugs. Nothing can kill them. I mean, like when you squish them, you can of course destroy them, but like also they breed so much. Like, what is going on? They need to be researched. They need to be studied. I'm telling you, the solution to all of our problems may lie in mealybugs. This may be a little bit too much truth here for one pot. I'm kind of realizing now. Is this also two? But I feel that we're gonna do it. Something tells me, probably my brain, that we are doing it. On the bright side, silver lining, we only have one more in moss and the rest of them should be easy. I'm dumping this moss, I'm not reusing this. These are also not the prettiest cuttings. They have been through a lot and they haven't been on a trellis. Maybe I can make it look cute. I don't know. Let's go for the Apoda, or Evelina actually. Even longer in moss. This is gonna be even harder. So I'm not particularly looking forward to it. Is this leaf gonna go? Because it's yellow. Come on. Thank you. I wanted to grow this one hanging. It actually grew the most in moss. This was in pond before, but it grew much better in moss. It was a small cutting. All of this grew, of course, not leaf on every node because I, once again, underwatered, but I think it was a 3-leaf cutting, and I think all of this grew, which is more than it ever did in a year of growth in pond. I'm thinking with this one, I'm just gonna loosen it up a bit. I'm not gonna remove moss because this one likes to be more moist. I'm gonna try to untangle this and leave it. I feel this is where I'm gonna stop. I will trim some of the roots that I see look damaged. Actually, this one had some rotten roots apparently, which is no surprise to me because I've been keeping this one way too dry. We got those off. Anyway, we're not going to be overly concerned about that because we have more of them. These are in my more traditional mix, so we don't need to do much here. Sort of release them. And it would be good to untangle the roots a little bit. That's fine. Let's just take off some of the dry vines. Okay, we're leaving it as is. I want to have a see-through pot, or I want to have these in a see-through pot, but I don't think I have a self-watering see-through pot. We did cut that a little bit too much. From the dry vine to the not so dry vine. Is that all? We have one more of Apoda or Evelina, though maybe they are the same. I do feel like I should remove some leaves here. By the way, this one has never bloomed. I have a Poda and that one bloomed many times. This one just refuses. This one has the best roots. This is in my mix. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to cut this dry vine here and leave it. Because this is a nice root system, we're just going to get that out. Not the prettiest of the cuttings, but it is a cutting. Now, let's just admire how much moss there is on me. Let's take a look at that Irina. I know she's looking bad. I know this is not good. I'm not afraid. I know this is going to be really bad. Everyone watching this channel should know this is really bad. This is not a good Hoya. I mean, the Hoya is good. Miro bad, Hoya good. I will probably do 1 node 2 leaf cuttings or 2 node 2 leaf, we'll see. Now let's see what the roots look like. Oh, that's such a big root system. Once again, moss, not moss, pond made mud at the bottom. A lot of dust on the bottom, it looks nasty. Rotten roots. Yeah, there is like, you can see that. Love it. You know, some people in my pond video said, and I think these are Lechuza instructions, you're not supposed to clean the roots, but stick it with the mix. And this was in cocoa peat and perlite, if I stuck it with that, this would have rotten even sooner. So all of these roots are gone. There's nothing viable there. This was a recent rot, this time is looking nasty. Let's cut this. Okay, let's get into the chopping mode. Nasty, nasty roots. Goodbye. Leave everything bad behind you in 2025. No sap. Oh, shocking. Very, very affected stem here. Oh my goodness. Well, let's just get all of that. Oh, I cut that way too short. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I made a problem for myself. Like, look at that. Look at that. I wasn't thinking at all. Wow. Why did I do this? Wow. I'm just like impressed. Okay, I'm gonna lay this one flat. This one is for pinning down, and apparently now is this one too. Round of applause. Round of applause. Before I do anything stupid again, let's make 2 nice cuttings. This one with the peduncle. I don't know which one I will keep for myself. Maybe 2 of them. I will pot all of them separately. I don't know what I will pot them in. And then we have this. I think I'm just gonna do 1 node, 1 leaf. Because why the heck not? Okay. Thuathienhuensis. Oh, why? I think we're not going to touch my mitrata today because we're running out of time and I did see some roots there. I think we're not going to touch her. But we do need to at least take a cutting of Thuathienhuensis. Let's move Rusia aside. Bye-bye. I don't know what's up with you, girl. What's up? Tell me all about it. You have lost a lot of the leaves. Was it something I said? Because I love you. I actually do, but your behavior is quite literally puzzling. You know, the reason why I'm avoiding this plant is because she is so wrapped around the trellis. Oh, let's not avoid her, I guess. And you know, in 5, 6, 7 hours, maybe we will have untrellised this. Of course, the issue is there's a lot of new growth. This is all new growth, which I could take a cutting off and finish. I have to, I think, take her down here. Yeah, you can still kind of see her, because I'm not really even sure what's going on. I think we just really lost all the leaves on the bottom. Another issue is I twisted a lot of them here, and I'm not really even sure how I did that, but I have to undo that. Oh, that could be another nice cutting here of Thuathienhuensis. And I don't think it has mites or anything. I really just think, I honestly think what has happened is that the roots are in a very bad condition. I think this plant has been underwatered despite the self-watering pot, and that I am now probably overwatering her. So let's untangle it, and then we will check my theory. Are these, what are these? Okay, some dried sap. Don't scare me, because you know how cuckoo I get if I see white stuff. It used to be such a beautiful plant. It has several peduncles. It does not want to grow the buds on them for me. It's not even attempting. Let's keep going. You're doing so well, Miro. You're doing so well. This is very easy and enjoyable. This is a good vine. I like that vine. But unfortunately, I think that my liking it ends here. Yeah, my liking it ends here. The rest of the plant is a bare, naked. I am sort of contemplating just yanking the trellis out at this point. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna yank it out. Did that improve anything? I don't think so. But there are 2 Thuathienhuensis in here. Let's check those roots. I think what we're about to see is not gonna be pretty. And then we will decide what will we do. But I feel we should at least take one good cutting of this plant. And I think it will root easily. No, the roots look good. I mean, it looks wet. I think I'm gonna take a cutting. Cuttings. Yeah, I think this is too wet. I think that's what's happening here. This is cocoa peat and perlite. And while it did well in this mix, I think we have run to the end of this mix. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Guys, I think I'm gonna become a violent maniac now. I will chop the entire plant. I will chop the entire plant. Because look at that. That makes no sense. And I will lose a peduncle. I don't care. Bye. Hopefully, this grows. Pfft, I'm done. We'll clean that off later. This one, pair of leaves. 1, 2 pairs of leaves. They still look good. Bye. Pfft. And so the story ends. It's not a big loss. This plant grew so big in a year. I think this is like a year old, and I got it like two cuttings from Farah, 2 rooted cuttings, about this size. So it grew actually a lot and very fast too. So we'll do, I think I'm gonna put this in 2 pots. I think I have enough pots, self-watering pots. I don't have enough space, but that's a bridge to jump off of when we get there, right? Let's just take a look at those cuttings. Oh my gosh, I have everything. These sweatpants were clean when I started this video. We have a very big cutting here. Since we have lost some leaves there, I think we can take this like as a top cutting, cut it there. And then we have several others and a long, long, long vine with nothing. So I'll just cut that like so, without any mercy, remorse, or regret. Then we have another top cutting that sort of ends here. These are not looking the best. Chlorotic. And then, what is happening here? We have some good leaves here. This, this is a new growth. That leaf is gonna fall off. It's yellowing already. Let's see what we have done so far. People are probably clutching their pearls, and I tell you, clutch them. Maybe this? Can this be one cutting? Yeah, it can be. Nothing happening here. That's another cutting. Did we already cut this? Am I shortening this again? What am I doing? What is happening here? Here. Oh, we have a nice one, kind of. Let's cut that here. I'm going to keep that as one cutting, just shorten it a bit. Nice. What am I going to do with so many tuathienhuenses, you may wonder? I don't know, jump off a bridge. I'm not joking when I'm telling you, this grows like a weed. Listen, I'm going to cut this here, and don't know what I will do. I guess I will just keep this as one cutting, because there's new growth there, we can cut it again. And we have trash leaves. Oh, I think we broke up a peduncle, which I don't care. Let's leave the peduncle on this one, like this. A cutting with a peduncle. It's an ugly one, but it's a cutting with a peduncle. So if we get to bloom it, this is a very sick looking cutting. Let's try to save it. I'm not gonna save this. This leaf is almost gone, so I'm not saving that. Anyway, that's the story of tuathienhuensis. There is a new peduncle there coming, bare vines, which we are trashing, and that is that. Don't feel sorry when you're doing this to a plant. Honestly, you are doing it a favor. Like, that's just a huge plant with no leaves. This is a rejuvenating process, and hopefully it will do better. And I do have a big prop box in which we will put these. So we have cleaned off mostly these roots. Ruthia is gonna go into a self-watering pot, medinillifolia. So we worked with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hoyas, I guess. There are more that need my work, which is why, we gotta move quick. A lot of them need, like, at least 15 more need some work that have been outside. I'm an absolute mess, so I'm gonna clean myself a little bit here and start potting these into prop box. Oh no, I got sap on my... Oh no, sap there too. There's sap on me as well. Now there are fireworks. Listen. It's not New Year, it's not Christmas, it's not safe. It's also like 6 p.m., 5 p.m. What are we doing? Well, I may have ruined these sweatpants with Hoya sap. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so I can buy new sweatpants. These are my favorite green sweatpants, and I don't think Hoya sap washes off. I'm going to make pots for these plants, and in order to do that, I need to heat up my soldering iron. So I think what I will do is I will put Evelinae in a pot like this. So that is reserved for Evelinae. For Ruthie, I also have a see-through pot, and I think I will do the same trellis, though I do have another type of a trellis which I conveniently lost, and I was just getting them too. Here it is. I don't think this one is going to be as good, you know? I think it's going to be too small, though this one is not as convenient, so maybe I will do this actually. I used to have trellises like this one, but bigger, that would fit this pot, and I'm pretty sure I still have them, but they're like in use. Maybe I actually end up putting this one temporarily until the roots grow in, then I redo the whole thing. I'm not really sure. I'll think about it because the way that Ruthia currently is, I think it will just look better on something like this. And then for the Thuathienhuensis, I'm going to make trellises for these pots, which is why we're heating this up. And then I also need to count how many propagations I have, Irina, medinillifolia, all of it, so I can use these small cups and make holes in them. I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of these with holes in them already, but I can't find them. Let's just do more. Why not? What else is there to do? I'm going to get my potting mix here. I have some from Simbotanica here, which we may use. I think we might try that one with Thuathienhuensis. This is a part where I have so much crap all over the room that it's getting a little bit annoying, and it's starting to make me a little bit irritated. Let's see how big of a trellis I want. Maybe we can use this to measure. So let's just divide this in half. I will both zip tie these, but also I will hook them through the bottom of the pot. This is not even. I wish I was like just a prodigy in crafting things. That's like one of the talents I wish I possessed. You know, grab like a piece of wire and make a piano out of it or something. Not that anyone can do that, but you know, like just a marvel of crafting. Is this tall enough? Let's see. So I will just bend it here. And then on the other side, similarly, I guess. We are at the eyeballing stage. The eyeballing is not eyeballing. I'm going to actually zip tie this right away because I think it will be easier. Okay, that's pretty solid actually. Let's see about this bottom section. There we go. That looks decentish. Let's make one more. My soldering iron is getting too hot. My soldering iron is getting too hot. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Pot fit, perfect. Let's do one for Ruthie. I will model it after this trellis, but honestly, I may not put this one in. It doesn't matter if I put this or something else in, I will still need the holes. Strike while the iron is hot. Okay. I will actually burn myself by the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 6 pots, and then we have 5, that's 11. We have a lot of Thuathienhuensis. 14, 23. Okay, we need 23 pots. If I counted that correctly, I probably didn't. Okay, one more and then we are supposed to be done. Turn off the soldering iron so we don't burn the house down. Will you be able to see? Maybe if I pull this a little bit back. All right, so I think we can start with Thuathienhuensis. I, once again, had scissors here. Let's just cut the inside of these zip ties. So we have 2 of them. One doesn't have any leaves, but there is a knob indicating future growth. I will separate them this time around. And I think I will use Simbotanica for Hoya Ruthia. I will use my potting mix for this, which is essentially the same. So very quickly, without any delay, without messing around, we're just going to do this. I like this one more, so I'm just gonna put this here, top it off. Now I think the other one will grow too. Again, it has a good root system, and it's not the first time I did cut Hoya all the way to the base and it started going again. But will it look a little bit ugly? Yeah. Okay, the other one. Bam, bam, bam. Work fast and don't play around. And if it doesn't start, at least we will have a pot ready for something else. So it's really a win-win. Those are out of the way. So let's continue potting stuff with roots. Let's do, in the same mix, my Evelina. So we have 4 of those. This is sort of going to be the main plant here. So let's see. One goes here, the other goes here. And that's all the that's all the space we have in the pot. But like a crazy person, I will push 2 more inside, and I will put them closer to like the trellises. Also, I don't think I'm gonna have enough mix. So, not really sure. And of course, it doesn't help that I'm spilling it everywhere. Certainly doesn't help me out. Okay, did we fill that nicely? There is some more space here. I wish I really saw what was happening on my screen, like how much battery I have left. So I can either hurry up or chill out. This is kind of a long vine, and honestly, I would typically cut this because we would get a bushier plant, but I really don't want to be propagating more of these. As we can see, I kind of have more than enough. So we will just going to try to make this look not so, you know, it's not very lush looking. Let's finish trellising this because it's in my way. So I'm just going to wrap it up around. Maybe we can do this. Yeah. So we don't go all the way down, it's just gonna look weird. Not that this looks much better, but you know. So it's probably gonna look a little bit ugly in the beginning, but as the time moves on, it will most likely improve. Not for sure, we can't tell. See, it's a little bit ugly here. And then we have this rogue piece, which I don't really know where to put. You know, one of those leaves is actually very burnt, so I'm actually going to remove it. Because that's very burnt. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm going to use a clip here. I can't get up one more time to find materials. This is the finished look of Hoya apoda. And when I clip this, it's gonna look messy. It's temporary. When it grows, you will be amazed, etc. You know, it's fine. Let's use that Symbotanica Hoya mix, orchid mix, that's what I wanted to use. It's very similar to my Hoya mix, and I did get a Symbotanica coupon, which I think not in this, but I will try to link it in the next video. I have still a couple of things to arrange, but essentially there will be discounts for you for potting mixes. This is very, very similar to my potting mix. I thought I invented it, and no one else thought of it. Ooh, and it's actually a little bit chunkier than mine. So let's do that Ruthie. Before I put it in, what I want to do is just check how they will all look. And maybe that will give us inspiration as to what type of a trellis we can use. I had this at one point hanging, and it wasn't so bad. Also, I will tell you one thing, we have way too much. Seeing how this will look is not really working out because there are just way too many of them, but let's see. Do I like that? It's not the worst, but let's see what it will look with a ladder. With a ladder, I think it can look instantly more complete. So I think I'm gonna go with the ladder and then probably change it again very quickly. Whatever. Once again, I'm gonna use this mix. This is Symbotanica's orchid mix. I think it will be great for Hoya. Shh, quiet on the set. I will not zip tie this ladder because I will probably take it out very quickly anyway. I will try to find bigger ladder once these grow in. But let's just try to balance this out and essentially get similar heights here on each side. This one is a long one, so we need something long on the other side to balance it out. Maybe these two balance out this one out, kind of. Okay, I think we have two approximately similar parts. There are 6 of them. That is way, way, way too many Hoya to be putting in a single pot. 6 cuttings. Honestly, I think this is one of those cases where less is more. However, we shall be proceeding with more. We will see the mistakes of our own ways, ignore that, and just keep putting Hoya in the pot. At this rate, we will not need any mix. Oh yeah, the only thing that is missing in this mix compared to mine is pumice. That's the only thing that is different. And maybe I put a little bit more moss in my mix, but it's very similar. I do wonder how this will do in self-watering, though I do have cocoa husk alone in self-watering and it works. What is this? Oh, this is charcoal, isn't it? I think this is from the mix. I think that's charcoal. Okay. Oh, that's messy. Okay, let's see. Trellising usually makes everything better. Let's trellis. Let's fix it. It's not gonna make this better though. Let's just attach that. I'm going to let these go. And maybe I can temporarily just put something to kind of keep it going up. It's not the best look. I did worse. I did better, but I also did worse things in my life. But it's a look. And it's a look is all that we ask for. Where is the cover pot for this? Okay, so we can also try this for rooting cuttings. Let's see, we have a bunch of them to root. So one for my mix, one for moss, and one for fluval. I think I will put this in, I forgot what I said. I'm gonna go this one, the biggest one for my mix, fluval and moss. So fluval we will leave here to the side. My mix has been pretty good to root many Hoyas. I've never rooted medinillifolia in it, so we shall see how that goes. I don't have a lot of faith because of just where we are starting. We will use Botanica moss for the other one. We will use Botanica moss for those pieces. However, I will make sure that I squeeze out the extra moisture out of this moss, because there is a little bit, I think. Actually, there isn't. But we will make it fluffy. It is a bit compressed. Not a lot, but it is a bit compressed. So we do, fluff out the moss. No matter which moss you're using, you want to make it fluffy. And then you're less likely to have any issue with rot. It will be amazing if all of these medinillifolia root. I will be actually very happy. And I'm only going to spray that one. I already have some wet sticks of my Hoya Michele, but they're not doing much. It's really not the way to go. Like Hoya and wet sticks are just not a match made in heaven, There's something about that that's not great. It can be done, but nowhere near my preferred method. 2 of them I will do in pumice. My mother plant rooted in pumice. That's how I rooted mine with no issue. So let's hope for a repeated success. And then maybe I can try transferring this to bark and moss to keep it kind of growing. Please root, all of you. What are we gonna do now? We are going to root the rest of the cuttings. We can put 1 Irina in there. Ha! So just shove it in there, and then we'll put it in the prop box. This one is gonna be a little bit challenging. Let's just dump out some of this Botanica mix here. It is from the mix, so I guess it's either charcoal or some slow release. Little black things. I really don't know what they are. Really don't know. But I'm glad I didn't cut something. There's a lot of cocoa husk here. And I rooted really, really well in cocoa husk. We will need to pin this one down. This too needs to be pinned down. I will use my mix for that because that one is a bit chunky maybe, so maybe it will be easier to pin down in this. Which, once again, I cannot do. And this needs... Oh... off just incredible. Okay, for these two I can use Botanica. I think this is how this went. I sort of forgot. And then I have to find a prop box to put all of these in. Now we have a bunch of Hoyas, so we will do, again, some of those in Botanica's mix, some of those in mine. I actually don't think I ever rooted this one, because Ferris came rooted. Let's do another one. This one is kind of long. I used up about half of this mix, so I will leave it because I need to use more of that mix for my orchids. I want to try it for orchids too. And then give you like a review. So back to my mix. Oh no, what am I doing? I do think maybe it will be a challenge to root Hoyas because Hoya with pubescent stems can sometimes be a little bit tricky. Sometimes they love to rot. I will quickly go get Fluval and put that last medinillifolia. Fluval to me looks quite dense, but I will give it a go. Now, I suppose this is just how you do it. I don't know. This is not instructional. And I certainly haven't looked at any instructions, so we'll see how that goes. Of course, all of these that need to be pinned down have fallen over. I will have so much cleanup to do. So let's try to use these plastic thingies for pinning stuff down. This actually can get in there. It's really hard to pin down stuff in bark, I find. Well, we did the best we could. Let's see. Girl, you gotta get in there. Be safe and secure. What a dynamic day. A very dynamic day. And now I have to also like water everything and take photos of like 2 Hoyas in bloom. Why I don't sleep. Why I don't sleep. Oh, I have melted plastic now on my, well, aside from Hoya sap, I also have melted plastic. Great. I also wanted to spray my Surisana, so I will do that, I guess, early tomorrow in the morning, because we will not have time today. So that's when I will do it. I absolutely must. It is really the time. And yeah, spray that Monstera. I will just add that to my list. 10. I really thought all of it could be done now. I would like to thank all of my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons, my 2 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Amber Clear, Anne Margaret Moen, Angela Bernard, Angela Parrish, Anna P. and C. Aspen Drake, Betsy, Brett Noble, Connie Pagano, Daniela Danube Daniels, Dipanjali Rao, Ether W. Erin Keenan, Elena Saxon, Ellen, Farah, Ferdis Verdance, Gathering Moss, Gina Geisid, Gina Radovic, Go Green Tropical, Gross, it's Kyle, Growing Nurse, Hannah Matlin, Heather Uppenkamp, Hoji Scott, HoyaCuttings.com, Yana Griffin, Jessica Chio, Jonas Bayer, Hjort Flarson, Joshua Davis Riley, Jovan Denot, Kara, Catherine P., Casey Gross, Callie Gallagher, Kelso, Kimberly Polka, Kiwi Mochi, Christy Ehrlich, Ellen, Bergley Mooney, Lisa Mary MPLS, Lucas Erchevsky, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Maria Stein, Marina Yarmolich, Morris B., Marty Miller, Mary Rose, Melissa Walker, Michelle Heron, Mirka Grun-Roos, MJW, Moa Edmond, Miss Seidenhar, Nelly Yang, Niha Basu, Nicole Maroney, Nguyen, Nita Macy, Odette, PJ Plandrit, Sykes Zera, Rachel Peterson, Rebecca C., Sandra Cornelius, Sharon Bone, Sophia Ariane, Starla Van Lith, Stephanie H2O, Tessa Martins, Thomas Marsden, Tia B., Trista Bailey, Tristan Thomas, Wendy Rossman, Xenia Green, Youth of the Walamut, Zaira Rivera, Zordarama, and Zlokov Niponi. Also, a big thank you to my $3 patrons: Karen Kilone Constance, Daryl De Rosario, Eden Corlett, Yana, KPZ, Lindsay Ann, Mary H., Monica Wykers, Nella, Nerdy Kathy, Renee Church, Ringlov, Sheila Casper, Tangwa Tanasria Cool, VH, and Wendy Foreman. And a thank you to my $1 patrons: one anonymous patron, Anna Malia, Alice Borland, Andre G., Aquila, Brandon Pacheco, Catherine Molina, Couture Helvetica, Emilia Bronson, Jolie Sullivan, Kayla Vavra, Kelly Ash, Chris Perez, Laura E. Jackson, Lauren at Tugboat Plants, Lorianne Subramaniam, Luzmin Fernandez, Marga F.V., Mary Diamond, Neely Spicer, Olivia Chin Mueller, Pacific Northwest Plant Lady, and Tracy the Eyebeller.